2009, Paul Rudd.
Selling his house.
Paul Rudd on the show, Ant-Man.
Yeah, great.
We had Paul Rudd on a little bit.
We had him on a few times, and he was always one of the super fun people to come on the show.
And we were lucky because he enjoyed coming on our show, and he helped us essentially get our US agent because he went back to the US and he really enjoyed real stories. So that was
didn't he? And he was like those guys are nice. Have we talked about Dan Weiner before on the show?
No.
Have we ever mentioned Weiner?
No, we should.
No. So Dan Weiner was the publicist that would come. Anyone anyone from like the Judd Apatow type movie, like Will Ferrell, Judd Apatow type films, Weiner was the
chaperone.
US publicist that would come out on the Australian junkets and got the impression that Weiner was out here to have a great time as well. Like he was on a junket too, but he wanted to hang out.
You have spoken about this.
Have we?
To me in private, but maybe on the show.
But this is
he came out with Jonah Hill, didn't he? And Michael Cera.
Yep. He was just sort of the big publicist, big comedy actor publicist.
Maybe Seth Rogen and
he would do a thing. He would do we realised he'd do a thing where he had our number, and we'd see him in LA too. It's like he's a nice guy. Yeah. But he had our numbers. And when he was in Melbourne, there was one night where he messaged me, and he also was really good friends with my housemate Hato. Yeah. And he also knew Hato. And he messaged me, and Hato was like, "Hey guys, Paul Rudd wants to hang out with you guys. Can you come to the Hyatt or something in the city? And what do you reckon? Do you want to hang out?" And we're like, "Sure." Like we were both, we're
fans
like,
of our
20s, and we're like, "Yeah, great. All right." So we turn up to the Hyatt. I remember walking through the dining room and Weiner's like, "Hey, come over." And it's a very low energy dinner with Weiner, Paul Rudd, and someone else.
Oh, so Paul was there.
Paul was at dinner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" And just immediately, as soon as I walked in, Paul's face was like, "Oh, it's the guy from radio today. Good to see you." And I was like, He hasn't requested. He doesn't want to hang out. Yeah. But I've fallen for this.
Is he not the guy who also would be like, "Oh, Seth Rogen wants to hang out with you," and then you'd show up and he'd be like, "Oh,
this was the classic one." So then Paul goes, "Hey man, great to see you again. Like we're finished dinner, so sorry, I couldn't see you for longer, but I got some script stuff I got to do, so I'm gonna hit the hay." And walks upstairs, and then with some of the worst acting you've ever seen. He's like, "Oh man," he's like,
I guess we just have to hang out.
So then Paul goes to me. He's like, "Oh man, he really did want to hang out. That's a shame. But I'm free. Like, let's go." So we're like, got us a beauty. So we had to take him out on the town.
Yes. There's another, I can't remember the specifics, but I remember having to pay for his valet parking.
That was when we were in LA, yeah. He was like, I think he might have even done a bit of "Hey, I'm out and about with like a Seth Rogen or something."
Yeah, it was Seth Rogen.
I'm like, "Oh, pass. Great, we're at the Standard Hotel." Yeah. And he's like, I'll come in. And then he'd park and come in and he'd be like, "Oh, Seth, yeah, he had to go home."
Yeah.
But hey, do you have any money? Because I
have parked valet.
I've parked valet and I don't have my card on me.
Yeah, they're fun memories.
So anyway, good to remember Rudd.
In the
good to remember Dan.